Ciao folks, ciao Beppe, what a day, what a busy day, what a tough day. How was your day, Beppe?
Mamma mia. Rom, we started that we were already selling the clubs. That was in the morning. No Agnelli and Elkan anymore. That was the news. And then we finished the day with the news of Paul Pogba. So a busy day with a lot of news, fake, right, wrong, whatever, that took a lot of mental energies.
Yeah, today was a very busy day because I started working to try to understand the conditions by Federico Chiesa. Fortunately, from his side, positive news. I think that is going to be at least on the bench against Lazio on Saturday. Then we got this news. It's difficult to realize what happened when you got a news like that. But of course, we have an official club statement so far.
Yes,
If you want, you can read it,
I
Beppe,
will
and
read it.
then we start to explain what happened.
Okay, so the official club statement is saying Juventus Football Club announces that today, September 11, the footballer Paul Pogba received a precautionary suspension, so temporary suspension,
Yeah.
order from the National Anti-Doping Tribunal following the results of the test carried out on August 20th, the game against Udinese. The club reserves the right to consider the next procedural steps.
Steve posted this message. This news was the last we need. I hope B test can show negative and then free Pogba. I can't believe it. That's true. We can believe it. We can
That's a
believe it.
difficult one, huh?
Yeah.
What
Especially
were your first thoughts when like the feeling without journey? So
behind the scene. I was at the J Hotel talking with a friend. We were talking about physical condition by Federico Chiesa, maybe potential move in January, and then I got this message on WhatsApp from an agent. He told me what? He told me what the fuck. He texted me that, and but to be honest, my first reaction was that's a fake news. I
mm,
can't believe it. Then I started watching on Twitter, and I understand that it was unfortunately true.
yeah,
What about you?
and you know that the first feeling when I open my phone and I see it, I the same as everyone. I can't believe it. I said, "Mamma mia, what is happening? So what is wrong?" Then when I read the date, 20th of August, I said it's Udinese. He was not playing. It's true that he was on the bench. Remember, we were talking. We are not sure that he will travel to Udinese. It was, the day before Massimiliano Allegri in conference. He was dribbling. Not sure if he will come or not. At the end, he's going.
Yeah,
That day is going with a test. But I could have opened the camera and go immediately with breaking news. And I said, wait, calma,
wait. Yeah, step by
calma.
step to try to understand the situation. Talk with sources.
Because
Mm,
that's important to
we
really
must be calm
understand.
in this. We must be calm. Then, of course, we'll cover in terms of journalism, in terms of videos here on YouTube. But we must be calm to understand what happened, what really happened.
Of course, because if you are looking, you know, it's testosterone, but they are speaking about positive to testosterone metabolites. So it's not really testosterone, it's metabolites of testosterone. So it's, traces that are remaining. So what is it? Where is it coming from? Waiting, of course, for the counter test that will be done. I was waiting also for the official communication from Juventus. So, I wanted to go step by step to understand, and then with calma trying to speak about, because if I'm watching the reaction of the people, and it's normal that we all react. We react with the heart. We love Pogba, and then we go with, we have to terminate the contract. We have to do this. We have to do this. For me, I think, and I saw a message earlier from Sir Raz that was saying innocent until proven guilty. From the moment that we know more, If he's guilty, he's
Yeah,
guilty.
yeah,
If
yeah.
it's not guilty, then we go into that direction. But
That's the
calm.
point. That's the point. But it's unbelievable that when we talk about Paul Pogba, his second cycle here at Juventus, we talk about just negative things.
Yeah.
He didn't play, surgery. Now,
The comeback is a fiasco. The comeback is a fiasco, unfortunately, at the moment. And it's a pity because it's a player that makes the difference on the field. But he's also a guy that is giving you the joy. When you see Pogba standing from the bench, ready to enter, you hear it in the stadium. People are applauding, they are happy, he's making the difference. It gives you joy. And I believe, after all what happened to the Juventini last year, that's the news that you don't want to read. And I hope so, that everything will be okay, counter test, or that there will be an explanation. Pogba will be back as soon as possible. That's the wish I have until we have further news. But it's true that for Juventini, it's another knock. It's another thing that we didn't need
yeah,
because it's giving.
yeah,
It's,
for
it's
sure.
again
Because
Juventus that is in the bad publicity, and we didn't need that.
that's a big problem for Juventus. Because if you can count on Paul for we don't know how many matches, that's a big problem.
Eh,
Because Paul at 40-15% in terms of physical condition is the best midfielder of this club. That's true, and he showed that between Bologna and Empoli. That's a big problem, a big issue for this club. And now, Manu, I don't understand the small statement from you. I expect a large communication. It's impossible to say something more.
I agree.
Because you have to wait, you have to understand the process, you have to speed up maybe the process, and we see what will happen. But I think that the club statement was on point.
You can't go with more news than that because at the moment you are just noticing from the news. You also need to understand what is happening, and it's something that you have to be really extremely cautious about. So I was expecting something like this. I was not expecting a long one.
Here there is a statement from Raffaella Pimenta, the agent of Paul Pogba. She spoke to Tutto Sport. We are waiting for the counter analysis, and we can say anything now. For sure, Pogba never wanted to bend the rules. That's true. It's impossible for everyone right now to say something, to do a more step. We have to wait. We have to be patient, and then we see what will happen in the coming days, in the coming weeks. But that's a big issue for Juventus, of course, for the player, because we are here again talking about negative things regarding Paul Pogba. It's unbelievable. I'm angry because Beppe, we want to talk about Pogba for his assist, for his goals, for his technical, his physical condition, but on the pitch. But unfortunately, we are in the same point.
Yeah, on that one I agree. Also because we when he was kind of walking after the last game that we won 2-0 against Empoli, you are scared about the physical condition. Then you have a kind of good news because it's not something serious. You are dreaming to see him on the bench again against Lazio, and then you have a news like that. That is again, as you said, that he came back injury after 45 minutes of Chivas Guadalajara. Then on training, the injury. He doesn't want to go on surgery, taking time. It makes it long. You see the face of Max Allegri that is not happy about the decision. Now you have this. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I tell you the truth, my mood was extremely, extremely bad after the news.
Is there a represent for this, to your knowledge? At Juventus, more than 20 years ago, Edgar Davids.
Yeah.
And in the last season, Palomino with Atalanta, but was a very different
And
story.
the counter test for Palomino at the end in trial and court and so on, they said everything was okay and he could come back to play. But it's that it's also the mass effect, because also Palomino immediately, and probably I was also guilty myself because I made a joke about it, but immediately it's jumping on a player. Look at this, and Atalanta, that's why they are running fast, because they are all taking doping and so on. I think in these kind of cases you have to wait a bit.
Francesco Romeo proprio stamattina ha detto questa è noiosissima sosta delle nazionali. That's true, because I published a video this morning and in which I said it's so boring this break, no news. Fortunately Juventus will start to play on Saturday, but of course it was impossible to imagine to receive a news like this one.
Today you did 3 videos and now 1 live. Mamma mia.
Yeah, because I started with my first
The
video
first one,
was Rabiot,
Rabiot.
behind the sign, how Juventus were able to extend his contract. Then I published a video regarding Manuel Locatelli, who will start tomorrow. He will replace Cristante in the starting 11 tomorrow against Ukraine. Then, of course, I had to speak about the situation with Paul Pogba, and now we are on live. Because Beppe, we want to do quality stuff. We want to do
I know I want to do quality, but today a lot of videos speaking about, Locatelli, you said, because that's the only video I didn't see. Locatelli, give me a recap. What did you speak about Locatelli?
No, tomorrow he will have a big chance because Italy must win. He has the opportunity to show his grow up in a very important period for Italy. So it's a huge chance for him to improve his season. Of course, we are just at the beginning of this season, but it's time for him to raise up his level. No excuse, because he has to do that. Lil, would the contract would be the contract immediately be terminated, or what do you think will happen with this contract salary? It's impossible right now to answer this question. I think that tomorrow everybody will talk just about this topic.
Yeah.
So I understand the question 100%. You are agreeing to ask me that, but it's impossible to say right now what will happen. Of course, we have to understand the truth. Then there will be a
because if we start with supposition and these kind of things, it's going too much in time. Then you are making things even worse. Then, of course, every player, they have a contract. A lot of things are written in these contracts. I never saw the contract of a player, so I can't tell you exactly what it is, what it is not. But then you have to check if first of all it is correct, because that he has been tested positive. Juventus confirmed it on their side. But then let's wait for the counter test. Let's wait also to understand the origin of the problem. From there on, you can build and start thinking about it. And you see that Juventus is also saying the club reserves the right to consider the next procedural steps. What does that mean? Everything and nothing. So we will have to wait and be patient.
Thomas, I forgot what being a normal Juventino feels like. That's true. That's true, because the last season was a nightmare, because we talked about all the elements, but not involved in on the pitch stuff. And now we are here talking about another story.
But did you see? With Juventus, you become a lawyer. This year, we are starting to be anti-doping persons. We have the knowledge about it. We will start to study also what is testosterone, how much can you have, what is the limit, how can you receive, because I start seeing some theories online. But it's the la crema, and the other one is but maybe it's because of this, then it's because of this. You see so many things, and you inform yourself. As a Juventino, you will have a
Now we
background
are
of
all
everything.
lawyers, doctors,
Financials,
financial, sporting directors. Has Pogba already done the counter test? I don't know, Daniel, to be honest. I think that he will do that as soon as possible, but to be honest, I don't know. Can you explain the next test? You can test again with 3 days. It's clear, then it's fine. So, Beppe, if you want to try, of course, first of all, we have to understand if it will be a negative test or positive test.
Yeah, that's important. But look, indeed, from what you read online, and again, without certainty, now we'll have that precautionary suspension where I believe from a few days it will really have to stop activities and then doing back another test. Will, in the meanwhile, Juventus continue to test and to understand from their side? Could be, yeah. But then you will have to wait the official counter test to understand, which is not obligated. He needs to ask for it. So it's an appeal that you're asking to do for a counter test. So let's see what the decision of Paul will be. Now Pimenta spoke. Now the player will keep quiet until we know more.
Antosphere, yeah. From what you know, has Allegri planned the season with Pogba in the starting 11? It's impossible to plan a season with Pogba in the starting 11, guys. He didn't play in the last season. He's recovering. I think that in all press conferences so far, Allegri has said that he's happy that maybe Paul could play around 20-25 minutes, but it's impossible. In the starting 11, I think that our midfield is Fagioli, Locatelli, Pogba.
But I believe that that's with all the problems, and I would have loved to have Pogba. I think this is a benefit for this season compared to last one, because last one he was really planning Pogba to be a starter, and he had to give up for the entirety of the season. This season he anticipated, probably had a plan without Pogba and a B plan with Pogba, which, I don't believe that Max was counting on Pogba from the first minute against Lazio to play the 90 minutes. So you see, even without Pogba, it's annoying to say, but it's a better news now than last year, where he was probably really, really counting on Pogba at 200%.
Of course, because he's one of the highest players paid in the Serie A. He's a top player. So it's a big issue with that for Juventus. Salvatore, Romeo, if by chance Pogba had accidentally absorbed this hormones, would he still be disqualified? You have to show that. You have to prove that.
That's difficult, huh?
It's very, very difficult, guys. I remember that in the last season, Palomino was precautionary suspended for 4 months. Then he was agree. He was in the right position of the story, but for 4 months he didn't play.
That's long, huh? That's really long. Then at the end, if everything is going well and it's negative and so on, you come back. If not, well, that's the problem where it starts. So we'll have really, really to pay attention to the next 2 weeks to have more results and more info about it.
Florian, ciao guys, poor Paul, I'm sad for him, for Juventus, for the fans. He's suspended, his career is over. I don't think that his career is over, because now we have to wait how there will be this process. But of course, it's a very tough moment for him, because
mentally, it's another one.
It's very difficult to recover.
Yeah,
mentally, especially after the last season, because you can change page. You can try to write a new page of your professional book, to start a new season, new vibes, new motivations, new goals to achieve, and then at the beginning September,
immediately
you are going down.
And it's and also last year he started to come back, and then again that small injury. It's a lot, and it's one after the other. We know it, have personal problems and so on. One of my first thoughts was, and it will be again, negative image on Juve. That was my first. Then immediately I thought about the supporters, the Juventini, and the third one was immediately also for him as a human person. I don't know the situation today. Did he do it or not? I have no idea. But for the person, for the human being, I was sad because I remember him arriving in Torino the second time, being so happy. I remember that, that
I remember,
interview.
I remember very well too because I was there. The expectations were so high, at high level.
But also him, smiling, being happy. He said, I come back in a place where people loves me.
I know
It's
that
really a pity.
now, Paul, it's a very difficult topic because we don't have words to explain what happened in, in the last season, what is happening now. So, could this still play in Arabia? No. Right now, no, because there the transfer window is closed, and then in the summer, according to my info, Paul has rejected their offers. So
I think that Giacomo is saying, if he would have seen positive,
in the next
any play
transfer
there.
window,
I don't know what are the rules there. I think it's global. No, if you are banned, you are banned.
yeah, for
I
sure.
think.
Yeah. We have 6 other midfielders. We clearly playing with no Pogba. Yeah. Every year we have a war to face. That's true for the second season in a row. But of course, now I hope that we'll be lucky enough to discuss about the pitch, the individual player, coach. But of course, what happened today is,
Oh, Rom, I don't know if you know already or not, but worst case scenario, and I hope not again, asking as a tifoso, if it happens that, there are some responsibility on the player, can Juventus have some problems for the game that we already played? Because we have 7 points at the moment with 2 games where Pogba played minutes on the field. Or, I don't know.
I don't know, Beppe, but
I don't remember how it happened in the past with other clubs. I don't remember.
because that's true. Because you have played against a player who was not allowed to play the match. That's a very curious and good question. Tomorrow I will try to understand, Beppe.
Hey, but that's an important one.
Yeah,
Also,
in terms of
Giacomo,
rules. In terms of rules.
Giacomo is saying -4. Hey, I'm even scared -7 because even if he's on the bench, he's a player that is on the paper. Huh? So
I hope for the guy that is only a mistake. We hope to, but Manu, we'll see what will happen. Right now, it's impossible to say that Paul is the good part of the story or is the wrong part of the story. We'll see. We'll see, guys. We'll see.
Calma,
Calma.
tranquilly. At the moment,
Calma.
there is one official communication. We stick by that official communication, and then in the next day we will see.
But we have a good news because we spoke about the conditions by Federico Chiesa, because according to my info, Fede today underwent new tests which confirmed a negative result. So therefore, there is a growing optimism for the possible call up against Lazio. I don't know if it will start or not, but I think that it will be part of the match, and that's a good news, Beppe. What do you think?
That's a really good news. And then I believe that Moise can really have a chance to start the game. Moise Kean, together with Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic rested a big part of the second game with the national team. So he rested. He will be there also tomorrow. Vlahovic, Milik, Szczesny, and Kostic in La Continassa, I believe they start again tomorrow to train. So, these players.
That's a very good news because it's time to start to prepare in the right way the match against Lazio, because there will be a very difficult game. A very, very, I think that especially after Lazio won in Napoli, they are more confident. So I think that they will come here and their target will be clear: get points.
Especially the rivalry Sarri Allegri.
In their mind, there will be this sentence: we won in Napoli, we are able to try to do the same in Turin.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Chiesa starting the bench, as I said, I think that it will be part of the team, but I'm not Max Allegri, so I don't know if we will start or not. But what I can say, according to my info, that there is a growing optimism.
You know what? I'm annoyed. The message of BT Barbara. She's saying, "I'm annoyed that for Lazio there will be no Weston, no Timo, and no Danilo, because they are coming from USA, from Brazil, so
Yeah, but
international fights."
of course they will have not opportunities to prepare the match, because I think that Timo and the Weston, they will arrive during the first half of this match.
Probably yes. Yeah.
Probably, I don't know, but I think that Allegri will push with those guys.
Cambiaso
Higher.
on the right side. Dai, finalmente Cambiaso on
Do
the
you
right.
think so?
Yeah.
Cambiaso
on the right.
And Kostic on the left back?
And Gatti starts.
Gatti starts. I agree with you.
Gatti, Cambiaso. No, that I'm sure.
Luigi, I don't think there is going to be any points deductions due to doping positive of a player. One example, Maradona in Argentina, agree, he scored in the ban. Okay. That's a good example. That's a
Grande
good
Luigi.
example. And ciao Fedele, Lima.
Beautiful. Peru.
Have you ever been in Peru? Never.
No.
Me too.
No.
Too far. Maybe one day. No Danilo, no Party. But I think that maybe Danilo could be part of the
Danilo
squad.
always plays. For Danilo, I'm okay.
Who is the real starter, Cambiaso or Kostic? The question of the questions.
In the 3 first games, we saw that Cambiaso was the starter. Then we tried Kostic in the third game. But I believe that with a closed mercato, having 3 players on the left, 2.5, no, let's say 1.5 on the right side, I think that Cambiaso will play a lot this season. Left or right, but he will play a lot.
For sure. Because he's showing that he deserves to be a Juventus player. I want to be completely honest with you. When I watched Cambiaso in the last season, I said to myself, okay, it's a good player, but I don't know if he will be a top player at Juventus level. And now he's showing that he's a top player. So,
Yeah.
of course, I think that he can still improve because he's young.
He's young. And then what we saw from training session this week, I'm happy that he stayed with Juve. A week more, full intensity. No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks in La Continassa training. I think it's a really good move. Then the next one, probably Spalletti will call him up.
We will see a next gen starting, you think? For this match, I don't think so. No. If you mean Huijsen or Kenan Yildiz, I don't think so. Because both, they are with their national teams. Because Turkey 21 for Kenan, who scored on penalty.
Yeah.
And then is training with the Holland.
With the Netherlands. Tomorrow he plays, also.
Okay.
And ragazzi, tomorrow big game for Miretti with Italy against Yildiz. Under 21.
Ciao, Juventus of the World. Happy to see you both. Any idea when our dear friend Mattia De Sciglio will be back? December? January?
December, January. That's the last news that we heard about Mattia. It's a big injury at the end of last season, so he needs time.
Maurizio, do you find it strange that in 2023 we decide to dope with the testosterone? Testosterone does not offer great advantages, but a rule is a rule. Of course, I can understand what you are texting, but if you know that you can do that, you can do that. Pogba suspended. Chiesa not sure. Danilo, where are McKennie? Later rivals. Who is available? Thomas. That's a tricky match for us, but for Lazio as well. So we have our problems. They have their problems. So no excuse. We have to do a good match. We have to try to win because we didn't win our first official match at home. So it's time to get the 3 points, and it's time to improve our Autostima.
Conviction. Self-esteem.
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 It's
It's a
beautiful.
good. I
Yeah,
like
I
this
like.
word. I
I
have to write it.
self-esteem. Oh, ragazzi, in the chat, if I'm wrong, also correct me. But don't worry, it's self-esteem. La stima
Yeah.
di se stesso.
Yeah, because if you win, you can win.
I agree.
To improve, session by training session, match by match. So
No, it's a confident boost, and also, in our stadium against Bologna, not winning, you need to start. Because Max said last year we lost a lot of points away from home, and that was the difference with Napoli. So away from home, we have 6-on-6, but we don't have to forget that at home we also have to do well.
you are always right.
Grande.
And a good night to Steve. Can he start against Lazio? I don't think so.
No, because also because these players they were not at La Continassa, so they can't even prepare the game. They will arrive, probably if they play tomorrow, it's Tuesday. They will probably arrive Thursday, so it's short to see them starting. I think more it will
what's
be
your prediction for the probable lineup, Beppe? Who will play?
Szczesny. I was surprised to see him 2 games playing 90 minutes, so Szczesny will be ready. Szczesny into the goal. I go with Gatti, Bremer, Danilo on the left. Danilo. Then 5 with Kostic, Cambiaso on the right side. In the middle, I see Locatelli, Rabiot, and
Fagioli?
yeah, because he stayed 2 weeks
He
there.
stayed a year at Continassa, so he improved his.
Yeah, and then Keane and Vlahovic.
Keane, Moise, and Vlahovic. I like it. This duo could be dangerous. Don't forget that Moise scored twice in the last season against Lazio in Turin. A beautiful twice. Pallonetto. Romeone e Beppe. Greeting for Tenerife. Tenerife. Grande Riccardo.
Beautiful.
I only hope that the 11 players that go out on the pitch against Lazio put a lot of grinta. Doesn't matter who will be available. That's it, because we have to win. No excuse. We have to win. We have to continue to get important and solid points, especially because from the start of next week, we'll start the Champions League, then the Europa League, the Conference. So maybe someone could lose the points, and we have to be there.
Yeah, points, energy, and that's why I was thinking about December. In December, a lot of things will be said about Serie A.
Grande Ryzen, un big abbraccio. I know that there are some of the counter medicine that can trigger a boost in your testosterone. Kind of like what happened to Onana and Ajax. What do you think the season will be? What's your opinion about that, Beppe?
Look, that's the problem. I could give you so many explanations, but I'm not a doctor. I have no idea about it. But seriously, no idea. When they said testosterone, what was the word? Metabolites. I needed to check, in the dictionary. What does that mean, metabolites? Because you are not sure. So I don't know. Then we spoke about the player from Atalanta. Now you're referring to Onana. A lot of things can happen. That's why I didn't want to record immediately, breaking news, bam, bam, what are the options? Because we don't know. And that's why I think we really need time to understand. Everything can happen. Huh? It can be a test that has been, like false, not falsified, attention, but wrong, that you have to do again because the tests are not correct. Maybe it is correct, but you have explanations why this happened. Maybe there is no explanation. Maybe Pogba did bad. At the moment, you don't know.
Right, and I think that Juventus too tomorrow will try to understand what happened, because I spoke to 2 sources and told me the same thing. Tomorrow we'll try to understand what happened. We don't know. Beppe doesn't know. I don't know. Juventus maybe. So tomorrow I think that we'll try to step by step to understand what happened. But so far we don't have the right elements to say something more. We have an official club statement, and that's it. Grande Andre, great guys, keep up the great work.
From
But
Romania.
I like every Monday to be with you talking about Juventus, train my English, because at the end of the season, I think that my English will be even better.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure.
next summer when I go to Ibiza, because in Ibiza I don't talk in Spanish, I speak English. I think that I will be even better. Thank Andre and guys. We have a lot of things to analyze together because tomorrow, Beppe, it's a crucial game for us. Tomorrow,
Tomorrow it's already in or out.
in or out.
Performance against Macedonia was a disaster.
Yeah, the first half was a decent level because we had a lot of chances to score with Cristante, with Immobile. In the second half, we scored immediately with Ciro and then the blackout.
Total blackout. In the first half, they tried, and I believe it surprised also Macedonia because also of the pitch. I really believe that Spalletti tried something to avoid the bad pitch. Because if you see it's triangle, pass, the pass was back, and then he went with a pass, high over the defense. And I believe it's really to avoid the bad pitch because it was a disaster for Macedonia. But I really didn't like it. As you said, we started with some things and then you were not able to because we don't have strikers. With Italy, we don't have strikers.
Romeo Pepe Guardiola got that's true. But better to be bald than balding. So when you have to understand when it's time to
Yeah. I agree on that one.
But it's easy to accept it. Of course, by my side, it was very, very easy. Guys, we have a lot of questions. Oh, okay. Step back. Pogba. We'll go for a big midfield in January. Big, I don't think so.
The name is De Paul. The people, they want to know about De Paul. Rodrigo.
De Paul is a very good player, but too expensive. I don't know. Of course, guys, now, first of all, we have to understand what will happen with Paul. Then we have to understand the strategy in terms of board. And then we have to understand if Juventus can spend maybe a not big player. But we have to understand, guys, it's too early. It's too early because the news.
Today I made a video about salaries from 2011 to today, the differences. At the end of the video, I'm saying De Paul is a good player. The problem is that he has a high salary. You can't allow yourself to spend that big salary on De Paul. That I am scared, with all the respect and the love, because in Serie A I was really doing the difference with Udinese. I'm scared that you have a Paredes 2.0. I'm really scared.
Locatelli to save the day. Tomorrow, Locatelli will be our hero. I hope that he will be able to perform in the right way because it's time. I don't like when Locatelli, when maybe, I remember in the last season, he played beautiful matches against Lazio and Inter, then up and down. It's time to be more consistent.
You think that his game, because he will play probably in the same position as with Juve, but do you think that his game will change with other tasks because Spalletti is not playing the same game as Max?
To be honest, I don't know, Beppe, because his official match as an Italian coach, Spalletti has tried with Cristante, but Brian, he can play there.
I don't understand.
It's true that he had good chances because he's very smart from free kick, from corner. But if you play there, you have to be a quality player. And in my personal opinion, he's not a quality player. He's a consistent player, solid player.
I agree.
But for Manuel, tomorrow there will be, with the national team, in my personal opinion, the last call.
Oh, tomorrow he scores with national team. He scores tomorrow. Tomorrow, gol di Locatelli. Write it down. Locatelli.
It's like autostima.
The self-esteem for
That's-
Locatelli.
Do you think Ken is good enough for international team?
I think yes. But no, can I answer?
Yeah,
It's
for
not
sure.
about good enough or not good enough. If we go back to because I saw the name of Toto Schilacci, but you had Toto Schilacci, Roberto Baggio, then you go with the time, you have Del Piero, Inzaghi, Vieri. Probably it would have been really difficult for Moise to even imagine to play with the national team in the 90s, year 2000, 2010. Today we are in 2023, and in Italy you don't have big, huge strikers. I mean, you have Scamacca, Immobile, but I believe that Moise can be there with Italy. I'm convinced about it.
I never
No?
cared less about the Nazionale, which is a shame because they were my first love with the 19th and the summer of Schillaci. Notti magiche inseguendo un gol. Beppe, en français.
Beppe, ça ne finira jamais. Saison de fou. La série Netflix. You know what it means, huh? Beppe,
No.
it will never end. Crazy season. The series Netflix. It is a series of
Okay,
Netflix. Huh,
okay.
Juventus?
Yeah. Yeah. I understand now. I'm from Steelers country. Dov'è?
The countries of the Steelers, the team Steelers in USA.
Ah, yeah. Let's keep fighting. Juventini, Grisciò, Beppe, Romeo, Legend. Grande Luis. Thanks for
But
watching.
Luis, tell us, where is Steelers? Is in New York? Is in LA? No, I don't know. I know the team Steelers, but I don't know where they play. But
Samardzic in January if Paul leaves. Samardzic, guys, it's my first target to try to improve our midfield. And but to be honest, in the
Pittsburgh.
In the last transfer window, when I try to understand if Juventus were interested in signing Samardzic or not, always my sources were always not so positive about this player. But in my personal opinion, he's a very good player.
He's great, huh? But
He's young, he's technical.
you see the difference, and the first half of Udinese without Samardzic against Juve, and then in the second half he enters, takes the lead, and then also the other two games of Udinese, they were not perfect, but when he's playing, he's making really the difference for the team.
Forza Bologna, Bologna, bella piazza, bella squadra. If Italy doesn't qualify for the Euro, what will happen with Fiji? Nothing. Because we missed the 2 World Cup in a row. So, yeah. Now we are used to that, unfortunately. No, De Paul is even better than Paredes. I heard about recapitalization from properties. Is that true? No confidence about that. We'll see what will happen in the new year. But right now, in 2023, no.
Did you hear something about the big news from yesterday that the club already, not the club,
Denied.
expert, they
The
denied?
owner.
Did you heard something about that?
Yeah, but maybe in the future one day. But Exor have denied. So we're talking about nothing.
Nothing. I agree.
No point in buying a new midfielder, just play Miretti, Fagioli, and Nicolussi. Yeah, now maybe without Paul for Hans could be a good chance. You did a beautiful job on the official Juventus Twitch with your interview with Leo and Hans. I enjoyed a lot because you put on the table the right questions because you are a top worker. And Hans is always very smart.
I agree.
He's smart on the pitch and he's smart outside.
I agree. I believe, also now, when you have the opportunity to play your players that is out of physical condition, you play him. Like Fagioli entered 45 minutes after the 3-0 against Udinese. Then you need also to give playing time to Pogba, that needs these minutes to come back. If Pogba is now not able to play, not able to travel with the team, not being able to be on the bench, well, Hans could have these 20 minutes at disposal for him and show him what he can. You know what? Fagioli enters last season quite late in the season against Lecce, second half. He's taking the chance immediately.
I
And he
remember
changes
very
destiny,
well that we were talking about a potential move on loan for
Yeah.
Fagioli. Then
Yeah.
he played there, he scored, and then he changed his status at Juventus.
Then he's repeating with Inter.
Italy used to have much better strikers, attacking players. 100%, I agree, but we don't have this kind of players, guys, right now.
Who is? What about you? What would you do? Unpopular unpopular.
Unpopular opinion. It's
No,
unpopular opinion time. Unpopular
difficult question. Difficult question. You continue with Donnarumma in the goal, or you change and you put Vicario tomorrow?
So,
Tomorrow.
that's a very good question. I think tomorrow it's better to keep Gigio because
it's the same strategy as last.
It will be his comeback in San Siro. You know, it's important, in my personal opinion, to push on Gigio. But after this match, we'll see, because if Gigio will play well, he's the starter. We know that very well. But if Gigio will not play very well, behind Vicario is pushing a lot, because I watched 2 matches so far by Tottenham this season, and he played very well.
Yeah.
Vicario is a very good goalkeeper.
Yeah, I agree. I know that there were a lot of talks about Carnesecchi or Vicario this summer. If you wanted to play a goalkeeper immediately ready, Vicario. For the future, maybe Carnesecchi, but Vicario is fantastic.
Romeo, what is your opinion about Verratti? Could be an option for Juventus after, let's say, he plays at Arabia for a year or so? I don't think so. I think that when you are 29, 13, you decide to go in Arabia, in Qatar, in the US, that means that you are over. Mentally, you are over, because maybe you earned a lot, maybe you want to play more relaxed. It's a pity, because Verratti is not an old player. He's 13, so he can play for other 2-3 seasons at a high level. But he decided to do, in terms of ambitions, a step back, 2-3 step back, because if you are a player at Paris Saint-Germain and then you decide to go in Qatar, if I'm right, that means that it's a big step back. But we have to understand that maybe he hurts a lot, because he played for more than 10 years in Parigi. He moved from Pescara, Serie B, to Parigi. He didn't play in the Serie A.
It's crazy, yeah?
He earned a lot of money. He played a beautiful season, because I think that he did a up and down, but in generally a good job in Paris. He was a legend for their...
Yeah, it's true.
But when you decide the bet, it's impossible to come back.
But look at Pjanic. He also, at a certain moment, he tried with Barcelona, didn't work. And then he went to Dubai, and he's good there. Huh? He's enjoying life. He's winning trophies with the team there. But high-level football is over for Pjanic.
You have the opportunity to work daily with Juventus. Then you do the same with Barca. Juventus and Barca, one of the best teams in Europe. Then you go to Qatar, to Arabia, to US. It's different. It's completely different.
I agree.
In terms of mentality. Grazie. Grandissimo Kata, grazie mille. Un abbraccio.
It was a comment for you, Romeo. Beautiful.
Francesco, better speaking English than signing in Italian. That's true. Because I am a very bad singer. Grande Romeo, grande Plino. Pittsburgh.
You are late with the comments now, huh?
State of Pennsylvania. We have to go there now. We have to go there to drink a beer,
To
more than one beer.
watch the Steelers playing all together.
Marco, Romeo, do you think Allegri is the right coach for this Juventus? We can stay here to talk for many hours. I think that, in my personal opinion, for this season, Allegri is, in terms of profile, the right coach to get a place in the top 4. That's my opinion. What do you think, Beppe?
No, look, I believe that as you said at the end, with all the problems that we had and so on, Allegri is a guarantee. He's guaranteeing you a spot in top 4. Then, was it the right choice to confirm? At a certain moment, I was not even believing it would happen. Then it depends who comes for Max Allegri. He stays. I believe that he's already showing a lot of differences with last year's. So we are just at the start of the season. If you're looking, it's for me, it's already total different story. So let's see what he can bring us this year. Then I don't believe that he will continue one more year. I think it's the last one of Allegri. If he wins, he goes and he said, "Look, I brought the team back to victory." If he doesn't, probably he will say, "Look, I tried everything I could and it couldn't happen." So let's see what will happen.
Ciao Romeo, have you ever been to Malta? Yeah, for sure. The first time I went there with Enrico Zambruno.
Grande.
We were together and we had the opportunity to visit the city. We had the opportunity to have a meeting with a fan club, an official fan club there in Malta. And it was unbelievable, Beppe, believe me, to understand how the passion there is behind Juventus there. Unbelievable.
Incredible.
People lovely, so friendly, gentlemen.
You know that in
beautiful ladies.
Yeah, that's also really important. No, but on my channel, I'm looking at the countries that are watching. USA is first, then you have UK, then you have Canada, you have Italy, Sweden a lot, and then you have in the top 10 Malta. Malta is small.
They are crazy for Juventus.
Top 10.
They are completely crazy for Juventus.
It's true.
They have big fan club, but like cinema. So 1 floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, unbelievable. Beppe, you have to go there. It's
that's in
the
my
perfect
plan.
place. It's the perfect place for you. Believe me. I went to Varsavia, to Cracovia. Yeah. Beautiful country, beautiful nation, beautiful cities. And I want to stop it. Buonasera from Vancouver, grandi ragazzi, Vancouver. Fa un po' freddo, fa freddo a Vancouver, eh?
It's colder there.
Fra un po' sì, fra un po' sono cazzi vostri, ragazzi, Giampiero. Ciao Romeo, ciao Beppe. What do you think about Locatelli not performing because of the way Juventus players not evolving as a player? Both things. I think that we spoke about the interview that made Roberto De Zerbi in the last weeks to Gazzetta dello Sport, and he said clearly that in his opinion Locatelli is a top player because Locatelli has worked for 3 years with De Zerbi, and in which position he played there with 2 midfielders. With 3, it's different.
You know what I think is the biggest problem of Locatelli? He has a big heart and he wants to sacrifice to help the team. And it's great, huh? It's a skill to sacrifice to help the other ones. But the problem is that sometimes he doesn't think about himself. He should a bit more thinking about himself, his way of playing, instead of always thinking, how can I support the team? And from the moment that he can do both of the things together, we will see another Locatelli.
New York. Danny Romeo, when is the next trip to Ibiza?
Calma, he's just back.
Just back. Now we have to be focused on this season. But my next trip will be most likely to Boston and New York City.
December, huh?
No, too cold. No.
In summer, next summer.
No, April, maybe May, March. I have to understand the right the right week, because I will go there for, I think, 1 week, 3-4 days in Boston, then New York. But it's not like Toronto, Vancouver. There was a question regarding De Zerbi from Andrei. Could
No.
De Zerbi be an option for Juventus in the future?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
You think yes?
No, I think that he's doing very well in England, and he will deserve a big chance staying there, coaching a different club to raise up his level. Maybe Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, I don't know. But I think that is the perfect one to stay there for many, many years.
I agree.
Because he likes the style, not just in terms of football, but style of life. Of course, I'm very curious of maybe one day to see De Zerbi coaching a team that has to win. Because when you have to work under pressure, it's different.
But Rico is saying he's a Milanista. If he comes back to Italy, we'll go to Milan.
His style is
I agree.
a very, very Rossonero style in terms of football. Guys, 2 minutes and we'll go to sleep, because tomorrow will be a very busy day, tough day. Pray for me tomorrow, guys.
Let's speak about Rabiot. 2 minutes.
Rabiot.
I want to speak about Rabiot.
We didn't talk about Rabiot?
No, we just said that we
because today we had a lot of especially in terms of Pogba story. And Rabiot, I think that in the coming weeks, Juventus will try to understand if there is the real opportunity to extend his contract.
1 year or more years? Because don't forget, it's the last year. It's the last year of Decreto Crescita.
Yeah, but I'm not able to explain that in English. So but I think that the rules has changed. And the next Monday, or no, not next Monday, on this Tuesday, on your YouTube channel, we'll explain the new rules regarding the Decreto Crescita, because the rules has changed.
Okay, then we don't speak about Rabiot, we'll speak about it.
I think that, for example, you have to buy a home here to continue to get the it's the last question of the night, because guys, when I start to be tired, I do a lot of mistakes talking English, so it's time to do to sleep. Lil, ciao ragazzi, your dream starting level for Ukraine tomorrow with the current players. So Donnarumma, Di Lorenzo, 4-3-3. Donnarumma, Di Lorenzo, Di Marco on the left back, Bastoni, and
you play with Scalvini.
I like Scalvini so much. Then we have Fratesi.
I don't know if he's called. I think yes, huh? Yeah,
we have Fratesi there. Fratesi, Loca, Barella.
And you change everything, even Tonali out.
Who?
Tonali. He didn't play well, huh?
I have to say that he scored his first official goal during his first official game in the Premier, but then Newcastle are suffering a lot.
A lot of difficulties for Tonali. I agree.
So Fratesi, Loca, Barella.
Okay.
Then it's a problem.
Yeah.
No Gnonto.
No, I don't like Gnonto. I
respect him, his evolution, but we deserve something better, my personal opinion. So Immobile. And
Who do you play on the left and on the right?
Zaccagni.
Zaccagni. I like Zaccagni. I like. Yeah.
Zaccagni, Immobile, and Zaniolo.
It starts with Zaniolo.
I think that Zaniolo played a decent game when.
But I saw all the criticism because he's doing that
Why?
mistake. Because he's doing one mistake, but actually he didn't play that bad. Huh?
He was not the worst player on the.
No, I agree.
No, I don't think that Scamacca is no. Yeah, I like this lineup.
Yeah,
Do you like it?
Yeah. I agree with the choices. But you know what's the problem with Spalletti, and he has to pay attention for it. Every player that we have in the defense, they are playing in their clubs with 3-man defense. They are all 3-man defense players. Can be a problem.
Thank you, Romeo, for speaking English with us and sharing your knowledge with Freni Juventini. But I don't talk, I don't speak in English. I try to do something like that, but I think that sometimes I'm very close to achieve this goal, sometimes to improve, but the most important thing is to share our time together. So, guys, it's time to sleep. Grazie, Beppe, and don't forget that on Tuesday we'll be able to be again live together on Just Juventus channel. So join us and subscribe.
Decreto crescita.
And we talk about Decreto crescita. And maybe I want to say something about the players that Juventus are continue to follow.
Yeah.
Borussia Dortmund. But we'll talk about that on Tuesday. Buonanotte.
Ciao.